Hello, everybody, and welcome to week number 225. Thanks for your persistence and your resilience as we reach another milestone, 225 consecutive Sundays of gathering to discuss and to advocate for a more fair and kind community for all. In one of our earliest weeks of this group, before we were even called Justice Southbury, Julia gave a speech in which she laid out the history of our country's best moments and instincts, what she called taking back the flag, from those who would say, America, love it or leave it, it's perfect as is and don't you dare criticize it, and giving the flag back to those who say, let's work together for a more perfect union. During this summer and fall, we're focusing on how the better angels of our collective nature produce a patriotism of hope rather than just a patriotism of nostalgia. Today we continue our study of what America is really all about in a series we call Happiness, Our Founding Governing Principle. The founders of this nation constructed an America that was both a work in progress and a work on and for progress. These brilliant, far-seeing, enlightened men who created our country were able to picture a society which was governed by the people and for the people. But these narrow-minded, imperfect men of their era were at the same time unable to define people as all people. What more beautiful and powerful and foundational statement can be written to guide human interaction than these 5 words? All men are created equal. Astonishing in its brevity, all-encompassing in its breadth, but limited by a collective imagination that could not contemplate the full implications of the statement. Because even though all men are created equal was the first self-evident truth of this new nation, it was also self-evidently true that men meant only men, and that equal didn't really mean equal. What was missing? They didn't appreciate the benefits of a variety of all men. They didn't foresee the unfairness of all men not meaning all. They didn't provide for a spirit of belonging for all men. What was missing? Variety, fairness, belonging. Variety, diversity, fairness, equity, belonging, inclusion. What was missing at the time? Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Say what you will about DEI programs or DEI functions, but the concepts of diversity and equity and inclusion within the statement, all men are created equal. Those concepts have grown by leaps and bounds in the spirit of this country towards the truth of all men are created equal. Remember to judge the founders by their era. Yes, by then Copernicus had discovered that the earth was not the center of the universe. Columbus and others had discovered that the world was not flat. But the Bible's tale of a world created in a few days, a few thousand years earlier, was still accepted as gospel. The first dinosaur was discovered in 1811, 35 years after the Declaration of Independence. Darwin wasn't born until 1809. The next breakdown in simply accepting religious dogma was well in the future for these patriots. So, for example, man ruling over women? Well, because the Bible tells me so and it's always been this way, that was mostly unquestioned at the time. Mostly. The second First Lady of the United States, Abigail Adams, was one who questioned the exclusion of women from the construction of the new nation. To explore Abigail Adams' contribution to these issues, please welcome back Janet O'Sullivan.